This video is brought to you by me, motherfucker, because I ain't got no ads to display for you. This video, we're gonna talk about. Um, Let me take a sip real quick. Got my BCAA in here. Keep you hydrated. Um, why is it that people who are unhealthy always want to sit and try to tell you how to be healthy? It's one of the craziest things I've experienced when it comes to, changing the ways that I am, with my diet, with my habits, and all of that. And I guess I'll just briefly bring up my mother. I love my mom, don't get me wrong. She's a nurse, and so that's why she thinks that she knows what she's talking about health. And while she knows so much about actual health issues, or diseases, or how to treat wounds and stuff like that, nutrition and healthcare are not the same thing, okay? A nutritionist doctor is not the same thing as a pediatrician, or I don't even know the other types of doctor, or even a physical therapist or a chiropractor. There are different types of doctors, and there are people that are medicine doctors specifically. There are doctors that are surgeons. And so the medical field versus the nutritional field are not the same field, even though they do fall under the same health category, because it all affects your health. But my mom is a nurse, and she's not the healthiest. I mean, she's getting healthier, or has been getting healthier by. I've gotten her on drinking better protein shakes, organic protein shakes, all pea protein, not the whey stuff. And I'm trying my best to get her to eat healthier foods and all this stuff. But the point being is, a lot of times she'll even say, like, me and my roommate Kyle will be doing like a fast. And when we talk to her about things like this, she says fasting is unhealthy, or you should, you need to eat breakfast. That's a typical thing that people were brainwashed to believe when they, in the past generation, that breakfast is a good meal to have, and it's not. And was made up through propaganda just to sell fucking garbage. And so all these older generations especially think that, fasting, that you need to eat 3 meals a day, eat all this fucking food, and that breakfast is good for you. Not true. Fasting is good for you, and it's good to release a lot of those toxins and give your body time to expel a lot of shit, rather than continuing to always just compound and add and add and add and eat and eat and eat. And then even certain types of food, or I'm meal prepping and I'm only eating chicken today or whatever, and I'm counting all my macros. And even when it comes to other things, you hear people talk about, like, sunscreen isn't the best for you, or isn't really good for you at all unless you get organic sunscreen. I have some. It literally has 3 ingredients in it. You can read what it says. But there's so many different things, like, with that. My mom's always like, you need to make sure you're wearing sunscreen, and she's using the garbage sunscreen. And it's just all these propaganda-ass lies that people are told, that they believe themselves, that aren't even their beliefs. They were beliefs that were pushed onto them by others, and then they go on to push that onto others as if they know what they're talking about, when it's not even their belief and they never even studied it. And so many people that are not healthy will sit there and try to tell people how it's okay to eat certain foods and it's not bad for you. Or, like, your grandma, especially, like, being, you're skinny, you need to eat more. When actually you have a 6-pack under your shirt, and she is just trying to feed you all this garbage. And it's just the time period they grew up in, but they do not actually know what being healthy means. Being healthy does not mean eating 24/7. Being healthy does not mean eating all of this garbage that is on the shelves that everybody buys. All this processed bullshit that literally causes cancer. People do not realize, if you just walk 10,000 steps a day, how much that can actually benefit you and affect your health in the best way possible. Um, but it just blows my mind, It's just crazy to sit there and think, and I experience it all the time, with people that I know, and even things you hear, you eavesdrop and hear other people talking, or you just see dumb shit on YouTube and TV about people, and social media, people that just think they know what they're talking about. And I'm not sitting here saying I know it all, but I know enough to know when someone is trying to tell you that something is healthy or is good for you, or trying to say something is unhealthy for you when in fact it is, such as fasting, when people just don't know what they're talking about. And it's because they're not trying to become a better version of themselves, so they're not focused on learning how to do that. You know, like, I don't care if there's a filter in the refrigerator. I'm not drinking that water coming out the fucking refrigerator. That's tap water, bro. I'm not drinking regular tap water. I've been real bad with not having, because I'm just learning about it over the past year, and I've just been lazy buying it, but getting a reverse osmosis system for the shower head. So I can filter out a bunch of the bullshit out of the tap water when your skin is your biggest organ and you're absorbing all that shit. So I don't drink tap water, but yet I take a shower in tap water and I'm absorbing that garbage. And so there's so many tiny things and nuances and, new developments as technology increases about things on how we can be healthier. It's like people think that all toothpaste is good for you and that fluoride is natural and should be in toothpaste, and it's not. You don't want toothpaste with fluoride. You don't want deodorant that has fucking chemicals and aluminum in it. All right? I don't even wear deodorant. And if you actually care about your body and take care of it and you're clean, you don't have to fucking wear deodorant. And you can buy fluoride free toothpaste and shampoos and shit that have minimal ingredients. If any that you can't read at all, you try to get as few as possible. And there's so many different things that you can do in order to be healthy and be a better person or a better version of yourself as technology increases, but also as we are continued to be pushed all this fucking garbage through propaganda that everybody just believes because they don't fucking do any studying themselves. And so people just end up sitting there acting like they know all the time, and it happens in every area, not just health, but people acting like they know what they're talking about and will try to tell you how how you should live. And then you look, if you were to even compare, someone like me to a large majority of the people that are unhealthy, they try to tell you how you should eat and live and what's good and what's bad, yet there they are, they look way worse than you. They're miserable, they're unhappy, they have all these diseases and things that are wrong with them, whether it's certain pains, inflammations, they're taking pills because of whatever they're eating. If they just did a little bit of research and realized that the food that you intake and the things that you surround yourself with and allow yourself to be like consumed by, whether it's tons of bad food or chemicals you're putting on yourself from makeups and shitty sunscreens and deodorants, or in your body toothpaste, and just all these different things, it's like if you just practice questioning these things that people have been brainwashed to believe, and you ask yourself, why does everybody believe this? Let me do a little bit of research into it. It's really not hard to start making healthier choices. It's not hard to buy organic items. Yes, you pay more, but guess what? That's a you problem. You need to make more money. Stop blaming the price. Just make more money. Learn how to make more money. That's what you got to do. If you want to eat healthier and be a better version of yourself, stop making excuses. It just is what it is. But without getting off track, it does blow my mind how many people pretend or act like they know to know things that they don't actually know anything about. And that's why those people are in way worse shape and in way worse conditions than you are, but they want you to believe what they're saying. And I'm telling you now, you have to take the time to learn about these things in order to become the better version of yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. If you want to be healthy, you have to learn how to be healthy. You don't just take the advice of a fat ass doctor that you go and see for a checkup and they say that you're healthy, but you're literally fat. And that happens all the fucking time. You know, happened my entire life that my dad was alive. You know, he'd go to the doctor, he was overweight a little bit, and the doctor would be like, you're good, you're healthy. It's like, no, you're not. You know, look at the shit you're eating, look at how you look in the mirror, look at, you know, how your health is. Can you run a mile? Do you go out and get steps? Are you active? All of these things play a crucial role into your health, the diseases that you will hopefully never get or will acquire depending on your health, and exercise and how you live your life, whether it's sedentary and you don't move a lot or you're very active, is going, and how you do all of that now is going to predict the future and how you are as you continue to age and get older. And that is why there are people that are 40 that look 60 and 70, and people that are 70 that look 40. People that are 70 that can look in their 30s. It has and does continue to happen as technology increases, but you have to be proactive and you have to want to better yourself. You know, I don't want to be in a fucking wheelchair at 70. I want to be riding bikes and lifting weight and be able to live a continuous active life, because I have continued to stay active and build muscle rather than living a sedentary life, letting myself go, making excuses, acting like I know what I'm talking about, being healthy when I'm not doing anything, and getting to a point where you acquire all of these fucking diseases, unhealthy habits, and then you are such a far version from who you could have been versus who you are in the worst way possible, rather than being the best version of yourself. I believe in infinite universes, and I believe that every decision that you make splits off into multiple, you know, realities with every single individual decision, which obviously creates infinity. And so there is, no matter on the choices that you choose to make today, there is going to be a version of you that did the right thing, a version of you that did the wrong thing, and a version of you everywhere fucking in between. And it's up to you, based on the choices that you're making today, to determine what reality you end up in. If you're going to end up living a long, fulfilled, happy life in your older ages, that not only can you look back at the great life you lived, but continue to live a great life, or are you going to be somebody that gets old, turns into having a shitty life, can't do or live the way they want to, and looks back with regret at the life that they did have, but now no longer can appreciate or enjoy? You get one chance at this life. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, shut the fuck up and go on Google or ChatGPT, pay the $20 for the most recent version, and learn shit. Learn about your health, learn how to be a better version of yourself, learn how you can continue the longevity of your life, and I promise by the end of it, you're going to be a much happier person than if you chose to do all the bad habits, all the wrong things, and live an average fucking life. The choice is yours to be great or to be average. Do not be somebody who tries to tell other people how to live when you are not living by the same standards that you preach. When you look in the mirror and you know that you're not the person you want to be, that you're not healthy, that you're not fulfilled, that you're not happy, and it all comes back to health, because health is the one thing that you can act on today. You might not see the results tomorrow, but you will within a short 3 to 6 month span. And that is something that anybody can attain and acquire within a year, or start to make progress towards within a year, versus any of the other things in life, finding a partner, a relationship, or finding more friends, or getting good at networking, or getting good at having friends, making a lot of money. Health is the one thing that everybody can take into action today and become a better version of themselves and build that confidence, build those foundational building blocks to become that best version of yourself. So, this is your sign to stop being a know-it-all, be humble, be willing to learn, Be always willing to learn, no matter what. We'll catch you in the next one.